Abu Dhabi.
Hello and welcome to our preview of the last Grand Prix of 2010, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix with Castrol Driver Rankings. They call it the Monaco of the Middle East, and it's not surprising because, like Monaco, it's got the facilities for the yachts, but unlike Monaco, it's got the most absolutely fantastic facilities. Heaven knows what they all cost. So we're going to have a look at that, and I'm going to update you on the Castrol Driver Rankings. And then I want to talk to you about a driver who this year I think has performed outstandingly, brilliantly well. But first of all, let's catch up with the latest news.
Red Bull secured the Constructors' World Championship in Brazil, and for team members it's the award that means the most. Not just because it reflects the job that they do, but because their annual bonuses are based on the finish in the Constructors' Championship. So happy Christmas, Red Bull Racing. Lewis Hamilton says he needs a miracle to win the World Championship this year. In Abu Dhabi this weekend, not only must he win, but he also needs Alonso, Webber and Vettel to fail if he is to regain the title. Jenson Button suffered an armed attack in Sao Paulo, and it highlighted that teams have to take extra care at the Brazilian Grand Prix. When asked, Bernie Ecclestone pooh-poohed the danger, saying it was no worse than Oxford Street in London. The qualifying performance of the Brazilian Grand Prix was Nico Hülkenberg's pole position, his first in Formula 1. The feat will have secured his place in F1, although possibly not with his current team, Williams, as other teams show an interest in signing him.
Now, I've told you a bit about the Abu Dhabi Yas Marina circuit already. Here is some more. First of all, it's another Hermann Tilke design. Hermann Tilke, the German circuit designer who's done so many of the modern Formula 1 tracks and made a very good job of them. He was given a seemingly unlimited budget for Yas Marina, and he certainly spent an enormous amount of money. Now, Singapore is a night race. Abu Dhabi is different. It starts in the daylight, they switch the lights on when it gets dark, and it finishes in the dark. That's unique and that is special. Last year it was a dominating win for young Sebastian Vettel in the Red Bull car. Well, could he win at Abu Dhabi? He certainly could, but so could several other people. It's going to be really exciting to watch and see exactly what happens. But first of all, let's have a look at the circuit itself. There's a great charge at almost 300 kilometers an hour towards the left-hand turn 1, where you need to lose, about 2/3 of your speed. Then power on through turn 2. You go past the pit lane exit, which, this is unique, passes underneath the track. 5th gear turn 3, and 4 is a right-left adjustment, and we approach turn 5 at 300 k's. Big braking for the left and right combination before the slow turn 7. A left-hand hairpin in 2nd gear, just 70 kilometers an hour. That takes us onto the long back straight. Speeds up to almost 320 k's before the sharp 2nd gear turns at turn 8 and turn 9. We're on another straight now, over 300 k's again as we head to the sharp left turn at 11. The turn 12 and 13 sequence is very tricky before the left-hand turn at 14, which takes us towards a feature that's a trademark of the Yas Marina circuit. Turn 17 is a 90-degree right, which takes us alongside the Yas Marina Hotel, and turn 18 takes us under the hotel and almost through reception. Drivers don't want an early checkout here. It's relatively slow from here to the end of the lap, with little time to build up too much speed between turns 19 and 21, which leads us back to the finish. At 5.5 kilometers, Yas Marina is certainly an interesting track, which produced some good racing last year, and I bet you it'll do it again this time. Mark Webber's done fantastically well this season. You know, he's come all the way from Australia with virtually no money, across from the other side of the world to Britain, where he raced in Formula Ford and won the Formula Ford Festival, then through Formula 3, and things weren't easy for Mark in terms of getting the right cars to drive and getting the right money and being away from home as far as he was. And then he went into Formula 3000 and then into Formula 1 with Minardi. And I shall never ever forget that first race of his in the Minardi when he finished in 5th place in his home race in Australia at Melbourne. And he obviously got a lot more attention from the Aussie crowd than the winner of the race did. But then things didn't always work well for Mark. He was with Williams, and that was by no means the best car then, and he wasn't as experienced then as he is now. But now, with Red Bull, Mark, with all his experience and his sports car experience behind him as well, because he's driven for Mercedes-Benz as well, and you get a lot of tactical experience which is very useful in Formula 1 from sports car racing, and he's put it all together for a brilliant year in 2010. And I'm very, very happy that he's been as successful as he has been, and I'm equally delighted that he's going to be driving for Red Bull again next year. And that is why Mark Webber is my driver of the year. And now it's time to check the Castrol driver rankings.
Well, Mark Webber is in 2nd place in the Castrol driver rankings and is the only F1 driver who could topple 33-week leader Sebastian Vettel if he has a good performance in Abu Dhabi and if Vettel doesn't finish in the top 5.
And now, amazingly, the last race of the year at Abu Dhabi is going to be the decider for the 2010 Drivers' World Championship. What an incredible prospect. And none of the protagonists can afford to put a wheel wrong. I'm going to be absolutely glued to the box, and I'm sure you are. So that's it, folks. The end of a great season. I hope you've enjoyed our previews, and thank you very much for the kind words that you've given us all. So now, at the end of a fantastic 2010, we can look forward to 2011, which I'm sure is going to be equally dramatic and exciting. And for more information, just check on CastrolDriverRankings.com. Bye now.